Hi, so this video is in response to Pyguy's second build contest on Casual Craft and some critiques and criticisms I got while judging for it and my video on it. So this is just kind of a video addressing all of those concerns. For a little bit of backstory on this, so Pyguy, he's a member on Casual Craft. He has started these little build contests for the community, and I participated in the first one and I actually won it. And so for the second build contest, I kind of wanted to step back, give people some chances to get some goody prizes, but I still wanted to be a part of it, so I decided to judge for the second one. And that's where we are right now. So I judged the second contest, and there were some questions as to what my thought process was as far as judging and some issues that some people had with it. So I had quite a few people ask me, what is technical prowess? Now, this is my own personal definition for it. I have two different branches that you can go down as far as technical prowess goes. The first one is pretty straightforward. It's just if there's redstone in your build or if it's interactive. Which is pretty straightforward, but I understand this is a build contest. Not everybody is super interested or good at redstone, and so I have a second category, kind of a branch for technical prowess, which is using Minecraft blocks in a unique way that's not initially intended for the block, or showing technical knowledge about a block by changing its block state, which is a mouthful. So let me see if I can give you an example. The first example that's kind of the easiest to wrap your head around is using string to vary the height in vines so that they are different lengths. For example, like over here, Beatrix uses string to put the vines at different lengths. Now, that's not string's intended use, but that's how they use it in a creative way to add some sort of technicality to the build. Another example is like using glass panes to kind of look like drooping leaves, because that's not its intended use. And if you don't have it connected to any other blocks, it just looks like that one pillar instead of the pane. Another example that I personally used over on my build would be, having the technical knowledge of a Minecraft block to be able to change its block state. For example, right-clicking a campfire with a shovel to put out the fire and making it look like logs in a bundle of firewood or something like that. So that's kind of my example of what I define as technical prowess, and if a build uses it, I just want to see, people use blocks in a creative way. For example, with this one way that they could have increased their technical prowess score would be to, put string on some of these vines so that it doesn't grow all the way to the bottom, so that the only way to get up is the vine that grows all the way to the bottom here. Or maybe using some redstone with the crypt here to do something interesting with that. So that would have been an example of technical prowess. Now I kind of want to talk about where I went wrong with my judging for the build contest, because this was my first time. It wasn't perfect, and I definitely admit that there were some things that need to be addressed, which is kind of the point of this video. So the first issue was that I started with this build, and then I ended with this build over here. And as I went through judging the builds, I got more and more lenient with my scores. So it ended up having this build had the same score as this build for creativity. And, simply put, they're not really on the same level. As I went through, I kind of got an average skill level of the builders here. I started off pretty harsh, and then as I kind of figured out the skill level, my sounds are off. As I figured out the skill level of each player, I kind of adjusted my scores accordingly. What I should have done was gone back and judged, this build and then the second build a bit more fairly, based off of the skill level. So if I were to change it, I would give, this tree probably like an 8 in creativity. And then I would give, this one probably closer to a 4 or a 5. Now I gave this little island here a 5 out of 5 on technical prowess, because that was really the only good score I could give it, to kind of put it bluntly. It's interactive, but not much else, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I could have probably done this in about an hour, and this one definitely took more time to build than that one, so they didn't deserve the same score. Now on to some of the things that I think I was still justified in critiquing or criticizing. So I got a comment on my video that said that they think it's okay not to fill the whole space if there's an obvious intended viewing angle. And I see your point, but I personally disagree. And I don't think either one of us are right or wrong. I think that's just a difference of opinion on building styles. I personally feel like, if it touches the sidewalk here, then there is an intended viewing angle that needs to be taken into account. Like with this build in particular, like the lectern's right here, the numbers are right here. So like this is like the first angle you see of the build, and it's not, doesn't look quite finished from this angle. And that could easily be fixed with, some stairs and slabs kind of smoothing it out, but that's besides the point. Personally, I feel all angles from the sidewalk are intended viewing angles for a judge. You want to take into account all different angles, and where you put your plot is important. If it's visible from 3 different sides of a sidewalk, then it needs to be taken into account. This one is viewable by all 4 sides, and it's not really finished from the outside. But again, I think that might just be a difference of opinion. For example, on my build over here, you never have like a quest or anything that takes you over to this area, but I still kind of put a little bit of time and effort into decorating it and making sure that it still kind of blends in with the build. I'm sorry if I came off as rude or disrespectful. I meant no ill will to any participants or builds. I just want to help improve people's builds so that they can take those skills and, kind of run with them and put them in their own builds. I don't like being negative or having people angry at me, so I just want to spread some positivity and opinions that might help peeps down the road with their builds. So if you were hurt by my comments, I sincerely apologize. That's not what I'm about, and I will try to be better about that in the future. So if I do judge more build contests in the future, I probably won't do them in a video or a live stream. I'll probably just do them off camera by myself, just to be a part of the community. So I sincerely apologize. Thank you guys for watching this. I try to make videos Monday through Friday, so if you're interested, stick around and watch those. But I'll catch you later. Bye now.